ladies and gentlemen, to an all-new reaction and review. Tonight, guys, we are continuing the countdown to episode 600 by taking a look at the movie that came in 6th place in the episode 600 tournament. It's a science fiction film from 1980 called Battle Beyond the Stars. Again, I really don't remember much about this movie. I vaguely remember the plot, the plot summary that I read for the episode 600 tournament. I know that it's a science fiction film. I know it's produced by Roger Corman. I know that it took heavy inspiration from the legendary Japanese story/film, The Seven Samurai, but that's really about as far as my knowledge goes. I have no clue if this thing is going to be any good at all. I'm certainly hoping so. Because I know that when it comes to films that Roger Corman has a hand in, the quality on those suckers varies violently. Because we've got the good stuff. I'm talking shit like Death Race 2000 and Rock and Roll High School. And then there's the bad shit, like Star Crash and Sharktopus. I'm certainly hoping for Battle Beyond the Stars to lean a lot more towards Death Race 2000 and less towards Sharktopus in terms of quality. But I have no idea. The only way I'm going to find out, guys, is if I shut up and I push play. And I'm going to do that right now. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out Battle Beyond the Stars. I am going to say this, guys. So far, the story is really fascinating. I'm loving the attitude on the ship's computer. She is so fucking awesome. Nell has got more personality and more attitude than anyone else in this film, and I fucking love her. She's awesome. Hell yeah. Well, so far our cast is slowly building and growing, and I'm going to tell you, I'm really digging every one of these characters. They all have a whole lot of personality and charm to them, which is going to make this movie incredibly fun if they continue to build up like, this. But so far, guys, what I am seeing is really good, and I'm really, really enjoying this. Okay, I really find it almost charming that Cowboy has to inform everybody that he is from Earth, and then has to ask if they know where Earth is. I don't know why I find that so fucking charming, but it kind of is. So, yeah, guys, I'm telling you right now, I am absolutely loving our cast of characters. I'm loving the writing, I'm loving the story, and just as kind of a note that has nothing to do with writing, the fucking designs on these ships are amazing. I'm loving everything about this movie, guys. I really am. Guys, I honestly was not expecting this final battle to be a real heated, intense thing, but everything done with this, guys, in terms of camera work and pacing and cinematography, all of it, is really making this an awesome battle. I'm fucking loving the shit out of it, man. This thing rules. Yes. Something I wasn't expecting while watching this movie, guys? I was not expecting the massive body count on the part of our heroes. I did not expect to watch the heroes of this film drop like flies while taking on fucking Sador and his forces. Yet that is what I've seen. And it's been fucking amazingly done. I am absolutely loving this movie, guys. I really fucking am. Well, guys, that was Battle Beyond the Stars, and that was a rather sudden ending. And kind of depressing, because a character I really did not want to see die, well, died. That fucking, wow. Let's just, shut that off. Okay, holy shit. I guess I should start, by saying that even though I'm familiar with the seven samurai, I have never seen any film version of it, nor have I ever read the original story of the Seven Samurai. So, I don't know if the body count we see here is kind of expected, but Holy shit, that was not something I was expecting going into this thing. So let's talk about the writing. The writing here is amazing. Some of the big positives when it comes to the writing here are the fact that our characters, all of them, every single character you see is interesting, inventive, creative, and with just a scant couple of minutes, they give you enough depth to care about these characters. Which then, when they start dropping like flies, it hits you like a truck every single time. So, good job, you guys wrote amazing characters. Then you slowly start killing them. It hurts more every fucking time. It seriously is an awesome movie in terms of writing. The humor that is here is done incredibly well, and there is quite a bit of humor here. I really, really loved that. The action here is written really well. The pacing here is perfect. The only thing I would have to say is kind of a negative is the ending. The ending, I am going to tell you guys, I was not expecting the credits to come. That's because it really does feel like there should have been like a few extra minutes of closure instead of just, instead of just this like small speech about how all of those who have fallen are now part of our culture, because that is how our culture's laws work. Boom, credits. No. That was such a sudden and abrupt halt that it completely just threw me off. I honest to God thought we were going to get like another couple of minutes. I don't know, maybe they go back to the planet, maybe they celebrate, something. Anything. Fuck! No, not just the ending, just boom. Like, right out of left field, which, okay, granted, it works. It works incredibly well, but could probably have been done just a little bit better. But that really is my one complaint, is that the ending is so sudden. The ending, it really doesn't feel like it has an ending, even though we saw the final conflict between the heroes and the villains. We got to see exactly how all of our heroes were able to fight off Sador and his forces. All of that was awesome. But then I am not even shitting you, maybe about 60 seconds worth of extra shit, and then wham, it's done. Again, just felt a little bit weird, especially since everything else was built up so well, and everything was like done so well, and everything flowed perfectly. There is no flow leading to the credits. It really just doesn't feel like a natural ending. I'm not going to bitch about that any further, because that is such a minor thing to complain about, but God damn it, it feels worth it to me, because everything else here in terms of writing was so fucking good that when you have an ending that just seems to just slam on the fucking brakes and go, yep, we're done, it just doesn't feel right to me. That right there is my one complaint about writing. Otherwise, the writing here is spectacular. I loved it. The acting also is done incredibly well. Every single actor just comes in and they just put as much personality as they can into these characters. Even fucking characters who don't really have a personality. Like, God, what in the hell was the name of that one? Hang on a sec. I actually have a cast list here. Nestor. Nestor is, I guess, like a multiple system kind of thing, where it's like 4 bodies or 5 bodies and they all inhabit one mind. It doesn't have a whole lot of personality, but the actors who are there are able to put in just enough to make Nestor awesome. It's really a cool thing, and I fucking loved it. The actors here turned in such a fantastic job that I think that also is why, as you watch every single one of these heroes, every single one of the mercenaries, fall, all of a sudden it just feels like it just seems to hurt more and more because they all do such a fantastic job, and when you're finally left with the scant few fucking stragglers who are left, you're happy to have them. It's just, everybody, because you're happy that there's at least a few fucking survivors. Because this movie's got a fucking like body count that is insane. Well, maybe not well, I think really it just hurts so much because of how well the characters were written and how great the acting was. Because no one here like phoned it in, man. Like every single actor just comes in and gives absolutely everything, and it works so well. And you're going to find yourself liking every single one of these characters, and when you see shit happening to them, it actually does kind of hurt. It actually kind of hurts to see it happen a little bit, and that's because the acting is done so fucking well. So yeah, guys, the acting here is awesome. Special effects. I want to talk about ships for just a moment. I want to talk about designs of ships, because this movie has done something I don't think I've ever seen in any other film or science fiction franchise. You see, I'm a big fan of Star Trek, and I love how all the ships look in Star Trek. The problem, and this is a problem I noticed all the fucking way back when I was like 10, is that you can kind of tell that all of the ships were made by the same group of people. You can tell that every single Federation ship and Klingon ship and Ferengi ship, they were all made by the same group because they all look very, very similar. Same thing with Star Wars, same thing with Babylon 5 and Battlestar fucking Galactica. Everything looks very similar in terms to how ships look. Here, every ship looks completely alien to every other ship, to essentially show that all of these people who have come together to save this planet are from all over the place. Every ship looks 100% unique and different, and Sador's like his main fucking cruiser, and every single one of the smaller like fighters that he has, even all of those together look alien to everything else. The ships look amazing, not only in detail, but also in the fact that they do have such drastically different looks that it really does look less. Now, it looks less like a whole crew working on designing each and every ship, and maybe maybe each member of a design crew were given a ship to do whatever the fuck they wanted with it, in order for everything to look 100% unique and different and awesome. And it adds a lot more life to the grand void of space that is built up in this film. And I love that. It's something that you don't see in a whole lot of sci-fi films. And it really does add just a slight extra touch of awesome to this film. Now, I put that in with special effects because the ships are all special effect, because the ships are fucking models, and you then have to fucking you then have to composite them into your space shots, and you have to make them look as if they're flying, and that's for the most part done really well, except for a couple of the composite shots where the ships are ridiculously blurry, or you can kind of sort of see the rigging that was hanging the ships when the ships happened to explode. All of that looks kind of cheap, but all of that is also minor. I think I noted one instance of ships being composited into a shot where they were ridiculously blurry, and they looked less and they looked less like intricately detailed ships, and they looked more like just blobs in the middle of a black mass of space. So there's one instance of that. I really don't think anyone is going to care about that. And as for seeing like rigging when ships explode, I think I saw that twice. At least twice when it was really noticeable. So once more, I honestly am talking about shit that is really minor, that is not going to impact anybody. But everything else here in terms of special effects, and that is also including like laser shots, explosions, all that look amazing. The makeup effects, oh dude, the makeup effects in this movie are amazing. And once more, it's to kind of sort of help show exactly how many different species and races are out there. We have amongst the various races, we have everything from lizard people to hive mind multi-system things where they all have like a big goofy eye like painted on their forehead, but otherwise, but you see, otherwise the costuming and the makeup is awesome. The enemy forces are essentially made up of beings with like big gashes down the center of their face. It actually kind of curves in, and it looks different on all of them. So it also kind of helps add a little extra level of detail. When you actually see characters who are horribly wounded and everything, it looks great. There's one special effect, though, that was really cheesy. I'm going to bring it up here because it made me fucking laugh, and it kind of sort of ruined the mood that scene was setting. So at one point, Sador's troops are able to get planetside, and they're using a sonic tank in order to attack essentially in order to wound, injure, or potentially kill anyone who is nearby. A sonic tank that literally just blasts out sonic fucking waves and essentially ruptures people's ears, and they bleed out that way. It would probably have been fine if you just saw like close-ups and there was maybe, I don't know, like a dribble of blood or something. What they did was they had the actors put their hands over their ears, and they ran a blood tube along each fucking arm, and naturally it's hidden by the sleeve. So that way then the tube like juts out like right about here, and you see just a geyser of blood shoot out of each fucking ear. They're going, ah! It's so fucking stupid looking. There's like 3 actors in the same shot who are like this with geysers of blood firing out of their ears. It looked really stupid, but goddammit, at least honestly, it was funny. So I'm going to give it at least a partial pass, even though it completely and totally killed the mood that the scene was setting, because it was supposed to be grim and, horrible, and then you have these assholes walking around with blood. Literally, guys, like the blood is flying like 2 feet out of their ears. It's literally arcing that far. It looked really cheesy. It looked really stupid. And as much as I would love to dock it as like a negative, I can't, because goddammit, it was so cheesy and stupid. I actually kind of liked it. All right. So special effects. I had a lot to talk about with special effects. Our sound mix here is really good. Our score was done by the legendary James Horner, and he did a great job with this. The fucking score in this movie, fantastic. I absolutely loved every piece of music used, and all of it is done, and all of it is used perfectly in order to set the mood and in order to set the tone. It was awesome. I loved it. It was amazing. Our camera work here is incredibly good. Lighting here is awesome. Guys, when all is said and done, can I recommend Battle Beyond the Stars? What do you think? I have done nothing but gush over this movie, akin to the blood that gushed out of those ears. God damn it, I'm going to stop talking about that, I swear. I have done nothing but gush about this movie. I've done nothing but heap mountains of praise on it while picking out the few errant issues I found. Of course I can recommend this thing. Guys, this movie's amazing. It's awesome. It is fantastically written. The pacing here is great. I would almost say that this thing, at least to me, is almost as good as the original Star Wars, just in terms of general quality. And even then, this thing here is superior to Star Wars in terms of pacing and character depth. So yeah, I can totally recommend this thing, guys. This movie fucking rocked. This sucker here is going to go into my Blu-ray collection, and it's probably never going to leave. This thing is a fantastic masterpiece, and I am surprised that I'm surprised it took me this fucking long to finally watch it, because I've known about this movie for probably about the last 20 years, and I always said I would fucking get around to watching it later. Well, now I finally have my chance. I finally had my chance, and goddamn it, I wish I watched it 20 years prior, because Man, I honestly could have probably been up to like my 50th viewing of this thing by this point, had I have seen it when I first heard about it 20 years ago. This thing is amazing. Now, Battle Beyond the Stars came off the Amazon wish list. The person who sent it in was Robert. Please, guys, swing on over to Robert's Amazon profile page. Check out everything that he has written there. Robert, dude, I want to thank you. You have sent in so many movies for this series, and I'm going to tell you right now, out of all of them, this one I think is probably my favorite one out of all of them that you have sent in. This thing was fucking awesome. I absolutely loved every second of it. I cannot wait to dive into all of these bonus features which are on here. Dude, I finally had my chance to watch this after 20 years of putting it off. And I was able to do that because you sent it in. And for that, I thank you. You're fucking awesome, dude, as always. Please, guys, swing over to Robert's Amazon profile page. Check out everything that he has written there. He has written a handful, actually, I think it's quite a few reviews of products over there. Swing over there and read them. And, again, Robert, I thank you. This thing is going to have a very happy spot in my Blu-ray collection now. As much as I love to end these videos by saying I'm going to go find another movie to watch, I've got a shitload of bonus features to watch here, including commentaries and documentaries and a bunch of other shit. There's even a documentary about how they made this thing on such a small budget. Oh, that is going to be a treat. Oh, God. I am going to love this thing. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this installment of Reaction and Review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.